Hello everyone, welcome back to Skeledon, Bushcraft and Survival. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know it's been a bit since I've been out here to make a video. I'm sorry about that, but I am happy that I am out here doing a video now. So, I appreciate every single one of you that come back and keep watching my videos. I wish that there was more people that I could reach, just like you. You're awesome. Now today's video, we're going to talk about clay and where to get it and how to get it. I'll clarify that in this video. And secondly, I'll also show you how to extract the clay from dirt and other debris and make usable clay for whatever projects that you want to work on. So let's go ahead and start off with where you can go and get clay or find clay. And we are in fact in the creek bed right now. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. We're going to collect some clay, and then there are other places that you can find it, and we'll get to that later. As you can see right here, this right here has a high embankment on this creek bed. And up top here is where your sand, your topsoil, and everything is going to be. But down here, as you come down, the soil starts to change. You got a rocky layer and everything. And below that, you have clay. All right, so here's a piece of clay off of that. If I break it open, you can see it's got iron oxide in it. It has rocks, sand, and this is most generally what you find when you dig down in that type of area. Now in this area right here, the closest water is probably, I would say, 100 feet, if not more, away from where I'm standing right here at the closest point of the water. After that, it goes further away, further away. Now in this area right here, it's right down a bottom flat of a hill, several hills around. Had plenty of erosion to sweep away a lot of the topsoil. We still have a lot of foliage around here growing out and stuff, but right here on the top, now this right here has a lot of purification. It does have a lot of topsoil mixed in with it, just because of the debris that has fallen down and rotten on top. It's made this really nutrient, and that's the reason why there is so much life down here. But this may look like regular dirt, but you can actually extract the clay out of it. And there's a lot more clay in this than what it actually looks like. Now, one cool thing about clay that topsoil and other dirt does not have is that clay will literally dissolve in water. So I've got a bucket of water here, and the bucket that I just got through getting all that clay from, I'm going to pour the water into the bucket with the clay. And I'm actually going to work the clay until it dissolves into the water. Now, like I said before, this is a procedure that you definitely have to put time in order to be able to do. So, I mean, there is a little bit of work to it, but let's just go ahead and swish this around. And I've got a sieve right here. I'm getting ready to pour in. Go real slow so that only the water goes through. Of course, this is going to have to be strained several times. You see all this that it's caught? We're going to have to go back and forth until that right there, there's nothing in there, just to make it really good. This section right here that you see, the clay will actually separate from the water and start hugging the bottom. You got clear water up at top, and then you've got that separation with the clay down below it. All right, on my channel, I do a lot of telling the things that I know, sharing my different skills and some reviews and so on and so forth. But this time I'm going to actually ask you, the viewer, and a question about something I don't know about that I am kind of interested in. And I'll just go ahead and post a picture up here, actually. And, or up here, somewhere. Anyway, this air rifle. I've heard a lot of things about it on one side. I haven't really heard anything on the other side. And if any of you know anything about it, I would appreciate you, leaving a comment, letting me know your opinion of it, if you know anything about it, if you ever owned it. Because me personally, I'm looking at the price for this Ed Gun Lishy 2 Short Wolverine, $2,630. Me personally, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, there are other brands out there that probably is just high quality, not anywhere close to the price, and probably be able to do the same thing that this can. If I'm wrong about that, that's fine, but I am needing your opinion, your thoughts, your experiences. So if you would, please leave a comment in there and tell me what you know about this little air rifle right here. All right, now it's been 2 days I've let this set, and I don't know if you can see it because you got some kind of settlement on top, which is going to be poured off, and below we have the clay. So right now I'm going to go ahead and pour the water out and give you a better view of the clay before we continue on. And there you have it. That right there is all we have to come finish up with. And how we're going to do that is strain it through a cloth. What I have right here is a bucket, old shirt, and a sieve, the same sieve that we used before for straining. Got a little bit of a ant there wanting to share the clay, but anyway. Now the water is seeping through and the clay is going to stay behind, and as you can see, you got a whole bunch of clay at the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is, and just hang it up and let it drain completely. All right, now as you see there, that is what I collected, and I'm just hanging it up here and allowing it to drip. Now this will take a couple of days. All right, so this right here is actually after 2 days of letting it dry. I've kept it in the shade and stuff, so it didn't dry out as fast as it would in the sun. But I couldn't get out here until today, so I didn't want it to get too dry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this shovel right here. I'm going to scoop it out. I'm going to put it on top of this aluminum foil, and I'm going to do that in a bit, and I'll come back and show you me doing it. But nevertheless, first, this right here is the clay that I poured into the shirt there to let dry, and this has been in the shade for 2 days as well, and we're going to open that up and see what that stuff looks like. All right. That's for the first time. See what this looks like. Well, it's got a lot of dried shavings of clay. That's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and scoop that off the top. And it's still clay. It's still clay. But as you see, that right there looks just like what we have over there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this over there and set it beside it. All right. And there we have it. The first one out of the bucket and the second one out of the t-shirt. Identical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let this set out in the sun and dry up a little bit so that it is more workable. Right now, if you tried to work it, it's got so much moisture in it, it just sticks to, you know, whatever that you're trying to work with. So it needs to dry out a little bit more, and it's going to do that better in the sun. All right, as you see right here, this is what we started off with before we did anything. Moving over. And this right here is the finished result. Just going to go ahead and cut off. Small section of it. As you see, there is no rocks or anything. It's just 100% pure clay. Now, of course, this is going to have to dry up a little bit more and to become more workable so that it can actually be shaped into something. But that is just to show the start and the finish from what this process does. It takes, and this one right here, just to recap, you see you've got rocks in here, sand in here. In fact, if you turn it just right, you can see it has a reddish tint to it. That's the iron oxide. It's mixed in with a lot of other stuff besides the clay itself. And through this process that we just got through doing, it removed every single bit of that out and ended up with solid clay. So now in earlier videos, I'm going to leave a link up here and in the description, I made a clay cup, a coffee cup, from start to finish out here in the woods, fired it and everything, and I did that in 3 days. Now, because I did that and I was rushing, I tried to get all of the rocks out and everything, but in the firing process, it did find one rock up at the very top and it chipped out. Now, if you have more time, then you can go through this process that I showed in this video on how to purify clay. The only thing of it is that extracting that clay from the other junk that you don't want can actually take a week to do. And in this case, that's exactly what it did. It might have been a little quicker had it been in the sun all the time, but the way I did it, and I couldn't get out here and I didn't want it to dry up too quickly, I left it in the shade, and so it did. It took about a week to do. But the end result, as you saw, is smooth, purified, extracted clay, ready to work into whatever projects that you might want to do. So that's going to conclude this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this helped and fuels some project that you might want to do. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.